Throughout history, there's always been the same question. How come black people don't seem to get further on the economic scale? This is a question with multiple answers. First comes slavery. Second, not knowing our history. And last, not sticking together. There's a beautiful African proverb that we unfortunately seem to forget. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This quote still stands for today. If we as black people want to get higher on the economic ladder, so where do we start? Well, by supporting black-owned businesses. Money is not the solution to our problems, but a tool to build our own economy. The time is now to support black-owned businesses. Black Economic Network, where black-owned businesses come together.
If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
I guess I could use some of this time to get into pleasantries and to talk about the many experiences I've had with you, not only here, but in Europe and other places. What do you have in store for us this summer?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know about the summer. I guess I should begin with what we have in store for the spring. I feel that we are in the midst of a most critical period in our nation, and the economic problem is probably the most serious problem confronting the Negro community, and I might say the most serious problem confronting poor people generally. And I don't want to be narrow about this, talking only about the black poor in our country, because I must be concerned about Puerto Ricans who are poor, Mexican Americans, American Indians, and Appalachian whites. And we are confronting a major depression in the poor community. And I think the time has come to bring to bear the power of the direct action, the nonviolent direct action movement, on the basic economic conditions that we face all over the country. Nonviolence has been a tremendous force in grappling with the social problem of legal segregation and the syndrome of deprivation surrounding that system. And of course it has been a major force in grappling with the political problem of the denial of the right to vote. But in winning victories like the Civil Rights Bill of '64 and the Voting Rights Bill of 1965 around the issue of segregation and voting rights, we discovered that these legislative strides did very little to improve the lot of the millions of Negroes in the ghettos of the North and in the nation generally. In other words, it did very little to penetrate the lower depths of Negro deprivation in communities all over.
Black man in America for the past 400 years has been like a boy in the white man's house, begging the white man for a job, for food, clothing, and shelter. And then after the white man provides him with all of these things, he turns around and has the nerve to get angry at the white man when the white man tries to control his life. How can people, a group of people such as our people, who own no factories, have equal job opportunities competing against a race that owns the factories? The only way the two can have equal job opportunities is if black people have factories as well as white people have factories. And then we can employ whites or we can employ blacks, just like they can employ whites or they can employ blacks. But as long as the factories are in the hands of the whites, the housing is in the hands of the whites, the school system is in the hands of the whites, you have a situation where the blacks are constantly begging the whites, can they use this or can they use that? That's not any kind of equality of opportunity, nor does it lend toward one's dignity. What does a black man look like begging for a cup of coffee in a white restaurant and doesn't have a job to back up to pay for it when he does get the coffee? It's putting the cart before the horse. Instead of the Negro leaders having the black man begging for a chance to dine in white restaurants, the Negro leader should be showing the black man how to do something to strengthen his own economy, to give himself an independent economy, or to provide job opportunities for himself. Not begging for a cup of coffee in a white man's restaurant. Number one, he must have a knowledge of himself, and this gives him confidence in himself. He has been brainwashed by the educational system that exists here in America to the point where he feels he was a savage in the jungle when he was before he was brought here, and this destroys his morale. So the number one thing that has to be done, he has to be retaught, he has to be re-educated and made to know that he's a man like anyone else, and then he can stand on his own 2 feet like others. Then if the black man, the black leadership, who has access to all of this money and has all of these degrees today, can't use his talent and his know-how to set up business opportunities, job opportunities, housing opportunities for the black people, the same as the white leaders have done for white people, then these black leaders need to get off the boat. They're not leading our people toward any kind of independence, but they're using their positions and their education and their talent to exploit our people worse than the slave master did during slavery.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economists, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into it.
We should own and operate and control the economy of our community. You would never find, you can't open up a black store in a white community. White man won't even patronize you. And he's not wrong. He got sense enough to look out for himself. And you who don't have sense enough to look out for yourself.
Well then, I grade. Me need ya, hey. I need some herb in my brain. So bring the medication for my brain to heal the whole of the nation from the pain and break up all the circles and the chains. I need some meditation in my brain. So bring the medication for my brain to heal the whole of the nation from the pain. Break up all the circles and the chain. Hey, no, this could never be no man killer. Good for my head, so me call it as the man healer. When me ill, you know me never need a painkiller. It's quite exciting, me call it as the man chiller. Give me good man, so me no think illa. What a inspiration, fit on a sound killer. Fit the pagan, me spark it like a 9 miller. Fi fight the liquor and the coke, ganja and the pillar. That's why me need some herb in me brain. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever have. Redemption songs.
When you write that?
All my life.
It's a hit. Reggae is the people music.
You know you're a superstar.
I am a superstar. You can't separate the music and the message. You see, reggae music come to unify the people.
Not everyone likes what you're saying. For your own safety, you need to stop.
On December 3rd, 1976, would-be assassins invaded Bob Marley's home and attempted to take the life of the singer, his wife, and...
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that thing. Cause every little thing gonna be alright.
You like that one?
Yeah.
There's a war going on. Oh, I can't bring peace. I can't even get peace for myself.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds, it's by my doorstep.
Sometimes the messenger has to become the message.
Bob, I know it's dangerous, but you're the only one who can unite the people.
You ready, Bob?
No guns can stop this message. I want the world to change. And that time is now.
This is my message to you.
Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your contacts. Thank you.
la, Afrika la. Amaya la. BBC Niesi, Amare.
Over 100 years ago, the black nationalist movement in America reached an unprecedented level of popularity because of the efforts of the charismatic leader of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, Marcus Garvey. Born in Jamaica, Garvey grew up in poverty. He came to understand race relations through the lens of British colonialism throughout the Caribbean and Latin America. As his thinking matured, he began to formulate a revolutionary social movement. In 1914, he founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, dedicated to uniting all the black people throughout the world. 2 years later, he immigrated to the United States, where his powerful message quickly gained traction.
We want to unite the Negro race in this country. We want every Negro to work for one common object, that of building a nation of his own on the great continent of Africa, for the purpose of bettering our industrial, commercial, educational, social, and political conditions.
He arrives in an era where blacks are still being lynched regularly in the South, around the same time that movies like Birth of a Nation are showing extraordinarily racist depictions of African Americans as monsters.
You have this really charismatic and dynamic individual, and he's talking about, look, our place is never going to be here in the United States. It's never going to be in Europe. It's going to be in Africa. We need to reclaim Africa.
So Garvey is going to be preaching a philosophy of black pride. He's going to come up with a scheme to repatriate to Africa, and he provides a huge sense of hope for millions of African Americans.
A centerpiece of Garvey's program was the creation of the Black Star Line, a steamship line launched to transport African Americans who wished to emigrate to Africa.
The Black Star Line is this idea that Garvey can buy ships through the support of local African American people, sending in money so you can have a share in the Black Star Line. And these ships were going to take thousands of people back to Africa, to the colony that Garvey was going to establish.
But his advocacy for black Americans to move back to Africa drew the attention of the United States government, and especially J. Edgar Hoover's Federal Bureau of Investigation, which monitored Garvey's movement, seeking grounds for his arrest and deportation.
Garvey was growing too powerful. J. Edgar Hoover is going to hire their first Negro agents to subvert Marcus Garvey. And eventually, they're going to say that he's been committing mail fraud with the Black Star Line scheme. He's eventually tried, arrested, placed in jail in 1925. He's deported in 1927, and he's never allowed to return to the United States. He dies in London in 1940.
Garvey's legacy as the father of the modern Back to Africa movement cannot be underestimated. He created the largest popular political movement in the history of Black America and would be an inspiration both to the anti-colonial movement and Black nationalist leaders throughout the remainder of the century.
Greetings.
Greetings.
You know, back in Ghana, all I do is good morning, good afternoon. When I get to Jamaica, now I'm changed. I'm more like a changed person. Right now we go by greetings, brothers and sisters. As he said, I believe that people thinking that I'm the new Garvey is a big responsibility. I keep on telling people to stop it because I personally did not know who Marcus Garvey is. I have to be honest, because the education system in Africa does not teach us who we are. I found myself in China thinking that that was the best place for me to, get to achieve whatever I want to achieve in life. But I thank God for going to China because it made me who I am today. To discover who a black man is, to discover how powerful I am as an African. And that is the message that I've been preaching since I discovered who I am. I have to say this, I had no idea that we have brothers and sisters living in the diaspora. I didn't know who a Jamaican is. I'm just being honest with you. I didn't know who an African American is. I didn't know. But when I started doing these videos, my classmate was an African American. And there was a day that we were new in class, all of us, and they decided to separate us into different groups. So I saw this black brother who looked like me. And I'm like, hey bro, which part of Africa are you from? Can we just, come together, And this guy was like, my brother, I'm not an African. He was extremely mad for me calling him an African. And I'm like, what is happening? And that traced me back to slave trade. Because in Ghana, 90% of Ghanaians don't even know the slave castle that we have in there that they call castle, I call it dungeons. We have no idea what happened in there. Because it's not part of our education system. So I took it upon myself to educate myself about what really happened. And that is when people started calling me the new Marcus Garvey. And I'm like, I'm not. So I quickly decided to research about what Marcus Garvey is. And I'm like, oh, we have the same message. The message that I've been preaching about is Africa is home for Africans at home and Africans abroad. Just because of that African American guy who inspired me. So when I got to know that, oh, so you're actually taking from Africa, and you're still telling me that you're not an African, but you're an African American, then why the name African American? So we're changing it. You're no longer an African American, but you're an African born in America. If I am here today, I am African born in Ghana. If you are in Jamaica, you are an African born in Jamaica. I met somebody telling me that I'm not African, I'm Jamaican American. I'm like, boss. We have identity crisis as black people. And this is what I'm telling you. See, I know most of you are not happy to claim Africa. The continent is not perfect. Don't let me tell you that the continent is perfect. But Africa is so proud of you. Because despite the fact that you went through all the struggles to get here, you never forgot who you are as an African. Because I came to Jamaica and I see Ghana here. I see Nigeria here. Maybe you don't know. But I was in Econ last night. I had to come here because of him. I would have been there by now. But I was having a great time with my brothers and sisters on the mountain. I was at Econ yesterday, and as soon as I stepped out, I started crying. I'm like, how did Ghana go here? How? Because they left Ghana 400 years ago, but till today, when you go there, that is the only place in Jamaica that I went that is just a replica of Ghana. There's no difference. Like I've I've been moving around trying to see if I can find cocoa plants. I ate cocoa yesterday in a cocoa. Everything, do you know what it's called cocoa? This cocoa. So in Ghana, every household plants cocoa in our backyard. And when you go to a cocoa, it's exactly the same culture. And I was like, you know what? It's about time for us to bridge the gap. It's about time for us to connect. It's about time for us to know that we are one people, even though we find ourselves here. I started from Suriname. That's another Africa out of Africa. That Suriname, they didn't speak the Ghanaian language in Suriname, and they don't even know that that is a Ghanaian language. I was there and people started coming to me, are two in Ghana. When you are hugging someone in Ghana, even in Nigeria, if you are hugging somebody, it comes to the sound. Are two. When I went to Suriname, they saw me and they said, are two. And I'm like, where am I? Am I in Ghana?
Hello everyone, this is Ambassador Arikana Chihombori Kwao. Just wanted to let everyone know that I am going to be attending the Ubuntu Awakening Summit, which is going to be taking place from February 5th to February 10th in Kingston, Jamaica. I am so looking forward to seeing all of you as we come together to discuss how we, the children of Africa, can come together and finish the unfinished business that our very own Marcus Garvey started years ago. The unfinished business must be finished, and it takes us creating that unity of purpose to finish what our Pan-African fathers started. The ship that Marcus Garvey wanted built to transport Africa's children back home, we have a responsibility to complete the building of that transatlantic vessel. Now, we may not have to run around in that ship going back, but we can use the ship for trade. We do need an airline, because now we can fly. An airline transporting us back home to Africa, between the Caribbean and Africa, is a must. I'm highlighting these particular issues because the summit that we are going to be coming together is about economic development. It's about economic liberation. It's about that which we must do to finally claim our place on the world stage. It's going to be an exciting weekend, an exciting week. I encourage all of you to join me as we come together from all corners of the globe to chart a way forward, to remind each other that to a great extent, we are suffering from the legacy of slavery and colonization, but that the awakening is happening now. That we all must have a conversation with the image in the mirror and answer this basic question: am I colonized? Am I suffering from the legacy of slavery? For we need healing if we are to finish the unfinished business that Marcus Garvey and many other ancestors that came before us started. We have a responsibility not only in honor of them, but also a responsibility to our children, grandchildren, and generations to come. See you in Kingston, Jamaica. It's going to be an amazing 5 days. I hope you'll find time to be there.
Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your contacts. Thank you.